Alright, welcome back to another episode of Art Time, where today we're going to be drawing in this case, shading and texturing the Sky Shoal. So, yes, as per usual, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe for more, and now let's get right on into it, shall we? So, I went ahead and did, some things, obviously, off camera. And this is what we've got so far. I don't really got much to talk about right now, because I'm a little bit spent due to a little something or another that had just went down not too long ago. And I don't need to go into too much information. But, yes, we're probably going to be like a little bit more calm, less hectic for the time being, until the energy comes back. Anyways, we are drawing the Sky Shoal, a region in the Demon Realm that takes place throughout the entirety of the top side, I think except for like one minor area. Well, not minor area, one region. A couple regions, actually. Or not just one region. On the surface, that's to say the least. And that region is the Dark Beach. Now, this place right here, it spans across the entirety of the Demon Realm. Surface level, it just covers up mostly everything except for the Dark Beach. And I think, because I don't have the region set up yet, obviously, so I can't really say too much about it yet until I have it there and the information is there. But there's a certain region that it goes in, a certain region that goes into the Sky Shoal. I forgot what I was going to call it. I think I was going to call it Dusty Mountains, which is a mountainous region, a lot of cave systems and whatnot, with a bunch of spider-based demons and a few other types, obviously, because it's all just one type, but you know how it is. But the Sky Shoal, it takes over all of the top side, even if that means that one region's going to be going into it. The only exception being a Dark Beach, which makes sense. The reason why everything usually is dark up top, pitch black darkness or red, but I guess mostly it's all red. Or black, I mean. With the few exceptions and a few areas that might have like more red specific, what's the word I'm looking for? Skies. Because when you look up in the Demon Realm outside of the Dark Beach, you only see nothing but darkness. All of these islands here are preventing some of the Bulbloom's light from being able to, showcase the underside. Because Bulbloom's light is capable of lighting through solid objects. The entirety of the regions down below get lit up, but you can't see the bottoms of the islands, just nothing but darkness. And in that relation, you can't see any of the combus, the demons that look like the stars that you see in Dark Beach. Can't see any of them unless you're in the Dark Beach, because of the Sky Shoals. So, region-wise in the Sky Shoals, I thought of like a few things. One thing is like a flowery meadows area, which will probably have some like pretty messed up demons there. We'll see what happens. I'll have to draw in some demons there. Crystal area, I don't know what these areas are going to be called, but like tree areas filled with like these stalk trees, no branches, single tree stalks with boulders all around. Mountainous area, and maybe even the springs area. Think of it like a mixture of many things or something, I don't know. I'm not sure if that's the plan I'm going to go for here. Not sure just yet. All I know is that... Oh, wait, no, that's grass. All I know is that chances are that's what's going to occur. Or if not, then there's probably going to be other things in mind, but I haven't figured it out yet, so we won't worry about talking about the areas just yet. Just showcasing a few. Maybe I have all 5 of them here. I don't know just yet. But there's definitely some region or areas shown in this region that we can go on ahead and try to explain and whatnot. So So in today's episode, all we're doing is just shading and texturing. That's all we're doing. I'm going to be doing the outline and most likely coloring for the demons. Sorry, just a little bit of, goosebumps because of a certain feeling in a certain place. The thing of which we're going to be doing in the second episode is just shading in the demons and texturing them and then getting the drawing finished. That's pretty much all we're going to be doing in that department. Also, that's pretty much it. Just 2 parts, as per that one instance with other regions and all that and whatnot. Yeah. Man, I don't know what else to talk about. But I kind of want to get some videos made for art time, so, here we are. Here I am. I quite want to get some videos made for my adoring void demons. And not the demons of the void, no, I'm talking about the demons in the YouTube comment sections, because there's nobody here to watch the videos to ward them off. For my adoring void demons, yes, of course. Don't know why I went into that accent, but, yeah. Yep. It's nice to have some of these relaxation moments, you know. Just go in, draw, do the things that you need to do. Part of me is wondering, hey, I could probably get this done within one night, but nah, these are usually just lengthy-ass things. I'll most likely get this done with on Tuesday. Late Tuesday, probably. It depends. After we're done with this, the only thing left is the drawing of the demons. And posting it and getting all the information and whatnot done with. There's still a decent amount of stuff left. Yes, of course. So, I don't know, you like jazz? I don't know. I'm just a little bit, still high on the thrill of it. I won't go into too much detail. So, yeah. Let's see here. I guess what I could do is this. Try to get this to merge a tiny bit, but get a little bit darker. So it looks more, what do you call it? I get this one to be darker or something. Dude, is there a weird story to talk about, or should I just, shade in and not, get distracted by anything? It's probably for the best that we do this and not get distracted by anything. But, yeah. These are the things that we must do to try to get this done with in a quick yet efficient pace where we don't sacrifice quality over the speed of which we get this done with. I mean, what more can we do in the shading department? There's not a whole lot that can get screwed up. Alright, let's see. Alright, so here's these parts of the islands. That part's easy enough. Careful not to accidentally shade in too much. We shade in too much and that screws us over. On the bottom part here. I have that combined for a few obvious reasons. Alright, let's see. So these has to be darker. They gotta be darker to make it look like it's a cave. Maybe not too dark, but, well, you know how it is. Yep, that's what I wanted to do. Yep. Good old-fashioned, dark caves and whatnot. Yep. Man, what thrilling content. But like I always said, we're mostly just here focusing on the drawing portion. Technically, we're not here for any form of entertainment or commentary of the most thrilling composure and whatnot. I mean, I'm dropping hints and clues as to what had occurred like 20 minutes ago. But I don't know if anybody's going to guess it. Kind of hard to guess, but I've dropped hints throughout multiple different videos on the things out of which that could have occurred. Yes, leave it up to the imagination, shall we? Yep. Still feeling it. Still feeling the strange sensation that's just left behind. Man, what could he be talking about? Oh, there's so many things he could be talking about right now. And some of the things, it's not what you think. You have to really just think very deep on it. I will say one thing. No, we ain't high, but we are high off of something. And no, it's not any form of that. Really gotta dig deep into this. Here's another hint, actually. Yep, digging deep. Digging deep. Make sure you don't hit the walls and dig deeper. You'll get to it eventually. You'll figure out the hints and clues I'm trying to get down. Right, Void Demons? It's gonna suck when you guys disappear. If you guys disappear. I mean, how many videos can we possibly make until the algorithm's like, alright, fine, here, we're gonna throw you a bone. And we go on ahead and get ourselves a decent amount of viewers and subscribers and whatnot. My stomach. Kind of hungry. It's 3:36 a.m. We're on vacation, so, yeah. Great. Although, I wouldn't be recording this starting at 3:36 unless I was planning on going for like an hour or something. Oh, and the cat is now fully in heat. Although I think playing with her with the little fishing rod toy thing where she just scatters all around the floor trying to catch this little black bobber thing where... Actually, let me see if I can find the fish that she had destroyed. So rudely destroyed. Somewhere around here. Where the hell did I put it? Oh, here's a block of wood from the bed frame that freaking broke. Put it around here somewhere. I don't know. It's a bluefish. Oh, that's not the jewelry we want to look into. It's a bluefish. Used to be on this black node thing. I would show you it, but I don't want the cat to get excited and then go into ultra whir mode. You know what that is? Ultra whir mode and whatnot. Yeah, that's what we want to try locally, at least. Oh, there goes cat, scoffing. Oh, poking nose. Poke. Oh, poke. Oh, wait, I forgot a tree. Let me get that tree. Arrgh, let me get that tree right there. Arrgh, relax. I be a doctor. Hilarious. Hilarious. But very disturbing. Very disturbing indeed. Me, personally, I prefer tentacles. Man, we really be dropping in their hints, right, cat? Now it's not even a hint, now it's just freaking oblivious. If you're not realizing it, well, oh boy. I don't even know how the hell I came across it either. Like, curiosity and whatnot? I'd say curiosity killed the cat, but there's no killing here. Curiosity pleasured the cat girl. I guess that works. We really are just not making this any subtle, are we? Well, whatevs. I'll leave that up to you to try to figure out the hints and clues of which I am dropping, and whatnot. The dropping of the clues and the hints, and that clueless hints. Let's see here. Yeah, so this is the only area, I think, I'm not sure yet if this is going to be canonical or not, if this is the only area. But this area in Sky Shoal, I think, might be the only area in the Demon Realm that has any form of water of some form, shape or form. Of some shape or form. Which kind of makes sense. The most abundant resources that would help us survive in Demon Realm is in a place that we can't even get to, nor can we traverse very easily. Unless, say, we would have, like, jetpack technology. But even then, you still gotta worry about all the flying demons, and especially if the frickin' Avian King comes by and swoops you out of the air quicker than a rocket going, at the speed of, I don't know, quicker than a speeding bullet. Even faster than that. Faster than the Flash, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Superman going around the planet put together. And those are the only ones that I know that go fast. At least, well, yeah, Man of Steel also going fast and somehow reverting time. Which, if my time travel theory is anything to go by, all he did was somehow manage to enter another dimension. Not dimension. Going back in time, the future of him not being there, that means that the villain wins because he's not there anymore or something. I don't know what like instance that was where he went back in time, but go back in time. I've said this before, and I can say it again. Going back in time, all it does is it creates another alternate timeline where you went back in time. And going into the future brings you back into the future of that particular timeline. Which, very hard to explain unless I were to do the freaking math thing. I could, real quick, just grab these here, make it X's, and just show you the thing again. I did it already, but I'll do it again. So here's your timeline. This is the point where you go back in time. And then you go back in time right here, and boom. That's you going back in time. Arrow. Oh, God. Arrow. So what happens when you go forward in time? You would go here. But one thing I neglected to take into consideration is the fact that you going forward in time technically means that you are leaving this timeline to go into the timeline here that matches the same. So 1 here, that's 1, and I'll do this for 2, so I don't have to write 2. That's timeline number 1. You go over to here to timeline number 2 in the past, or you go back in the past, you think you're going here, but all you're doing is going into this one. You being here immediately makes timeline number 1 turn into timeline number 2. And going forward in time is taking timeline number 2 and making that number 3. The events of the changes you made in number 2 carries over number 3 into the future, and so on and so forth. That's how that would go. Unless you had some way to connect these two via like a little tiny wormhole, and you just use that as a way to go back to there and get the same instance here without making another timeline. Going back in time will always create another alternate timeline. Going back in the future will always create another alternate here. Of course, if you had the coordinates for the timeline, you would go back to here, but you would just go create another timeline where it's basically the same as this right over here, and just rotate that over here. Where it's basically just the same as this, except now you're here instead of here, and in this timeline, you never come back. But in that timeline, these are the same, one and the same, but now this is timeline number 4, because now you are here. This shares similar properties to this because you're going into the future, and this is never going to be going back to. And then the same thing applies to if you find this, or if you know the coordinates to go back to your original timeline, but instead of going to this one, you'd go to that one. That's one thing I neglected to talk about in the first instance where I talked about time travel, and we do that here. Now, if you were to somehow create a wormhole that's constantly connected to this thing, then you would be able to constantly go back between these two timelines without, the future being affected too greatly. That's how it would be, right? Think of it like how Inuyasha works, where there's like the time meter well. That's the well connecting between those two instances. I don't know how the hell the future does that. Maybe every time she goes in the well, it just creates another alternate timeline. And everyone's just like confused because everyone is gone. Or the person that went there is gone. But everybody has their own theory on how time travel would work. Everybody says that changing the events in the past changes the future. But obviously, throughout Inuyasha, it doesn't seem like there's major changes that are happening with Kagome being in the past. So that makes me wonder if it's just a case of, these are the events that are supposed to happen on that timeline, and we're on the two different timelines, but the changes there are minor and are supposed to happen. Or at least that's what I could theorize. I don't exactly know how that would work. My theory in timeline, or time travel here, can be completely changed when going to another person's universe that created their own timeline theory. That's how that would work. That's why Luna always has like a wormhole kind of thing, a tiny wormhole, like the size of an atom, connecting her universe to the universes that she traveled to, so that everything there remains the same. And in that case, that's more like universal travel instead of timeline, so that doesn't exactly... I guess it still kind of does do the thing, because now you're connecting your universe and that timeline of that particular universe to your universe, because you're obviously changing the original timeline of that universe, but because you're in a different universe, your universe obviously isn't going to change. So that's not what I wanted to do first, but I guess that's fine. So you see, time travel is not as complex as you may think. Also, right. Let me move this up here. It's not as complex as you may think. If you think about the theory that anytime you go into a specific point in time, you're always creating another alternate timeline. Doesn't matter if you go back to your original timeline and it's the same one, it's always going to create another timeline. That's one thing I forgot to mention, or at least remembered to mention long ago when I talked about time travel stuff. So keep that in mind when thinking about time travel-based things. That's the most likely scenario to occur. The universe, if there is multiple timelines and dimensions and universes in general and whatnot, is built to be capable of handling a crap ton of timelines. Assuming my theory of whatever we create becomes real in another universe is true, then that means that universe would have to be built to handle many different timelines. Now, how the hell would all the other universes that have different time travel theories work? Well, I guess that depends. It depends on if there's like a being that changes time, or if the person who created the universe is the one who's like, this is how time travel works, nothing more, nothing less. That's how they think. Well, the universe has a way to, correct that. Say if Luna goes into the Marvel Universe, which she technically already have, I think. Is She-Hulk Marvel? I don't quite remember. Is She-Hulk Marvel or DC? Which one? Yep, Marvel. And, what was it? Marvel TVA? Is that what they're called? Yeah. So obviously, Luna going into the timeline, into the Marvel Universe, whatever the hell the TVA thing is technically supposed to be, also got a lot of history here to delete so it's more clean and less all over the place. Use the Google search bar to or keep certain things there to remind me of things that I want to look up later on, or continuously look up later on. Like, Pac-Man World Remake thing that we can look at whenever that comes out. Anyways, I'm not sure how the TVA would handle the learning that the timeline changes only makes additional timelines. At least in the multi-universe instance that we have going on in certain things. That's something that most people don't take. Well, actually, I don't even think anybody takes that particular theory in consideration. I mean, surely there is a theory out there where going back and forward in time only just creates alternate timelines. It doesn't necessarily change anything, right? It would be infinite numbers and infinite possibilities. All you gotta do is just go to the timeline where you leave, and then you'll create another timeline and nothing changes. Where you leave and come back. I mean, yeah, that's how that would work, right? I think that would be the universe's way to ensure that a quote-unquote paradox wouldn't be made, which doesn't make sense, because if you go back in time, you can still see your past self. So maybe it's just a case of, or maybe it's just a case of it just being this is how timelines will work. We have this set up to make it so that anybody who messes with time won't completely fuck up everything and everyone. They'll do that in a different timeline. They're still fucking up people in a different timeline, but their original timeline remains unchanged. That's probably why you would never see anything with time travel related thing. If anybody attempts time travel, all it'll be is local scientist evaporated attempting to go back in time, never to return. When truthfully, he did come back to the original timeline, but it just created another alternate timeline. I don't even know why the hell I'm talking about this after coming across a hint of the potential thing that I did that y'all probably already know of because of the really strong hints that I dropped. But yes, that's what I think time travel is technically supposed to be. It's supposed to just create alternate timelines. It does nothing but create alternate timelines. That's my theory on time travel anyways. And of course with theories, there's no easy way to prove it because nobody knows how to do time travel yet. And with that particular theory of mine, there would be no way to prove it unless we all got brought back in time. See, here's the thing. Here's the application I can think of. If we were to just create a wormhole that leads back in time to, say maybe the time between AC and DC or something. Not AC and DC, but AC and BC. As soon as BC ends, maybe. I don't know. We go back in time to that instance there. We have our technology. We have, the construction materials and whatnot. We rebuild the cities and everything we can. And we just have wormholes that bring everybody to there and leave that open. So that you don't run the risk of people just, getting brought into the thing and just being alone. Because the original person that went in, open up the wormhole, they go in finally, we're back in time. They open up another wormhole. That the new person going in is, yes, now we can continue the human race by just going back in time and remining all those resources and whatnot. But the person on the first timeline, when the portal opens up, that's another good example. Wormhole opens up. Person right here comes in. Good. Wormhole closes. This is them in the universe, the boxed-in universe. Wormhole then closes. Oh, no. Closes. So the other person comes in through the wormhole. Let's just say the wormhole's here. Yada, yada, yada. That wormhole is opened up to this instance, and that person over here, whoops. that person over here is like, hey, look, we did it back in time. Boom, wormhole destroyed yet again. And this guy's just waiting for his friend to come in. It's like, where the fuck are they? He's just wondering where they are, back trapped in the past, unable to do anything, stuck there. Same with these two. All right, another group comes in. Woo-hoo-hoo, going in back in time yet again. And then we got these four Christ. And then we got these four coming into play here. Yay, wormhole closed. But now those four are stuck in the past. And that's how the timeline would work. If you were to, now, say if you were to, oops, I just pressed numslock. Did I do anything? No, I didn't. Now, say if you, yeah, I had a feeling. Now, say if you were to leave this gateway open and keep it open, make this damn thing this so I stop clicking it, I think. No, this, it still fucking clicks it. Fucking Christ. Leave that open so that this guy comes in, and boom. Same thing, boom, same thing, and they keep on going. Just leaving it open, the connection's still there, and it remains there. Now that's essentially how I imagine that would work if you were to travel back in time with people. You have to keep that gateway open, because if you don't, you're just going to be stuck back in time unless you have some way to bring yourself back. As soon as that wormhole closes, there's no way to go back anymore. Anytime a new wormhole opens up on that exact timeline, it just creates another universe, or not a universe, another timeline where that instance occurs, and that guy is stuck in the past, unable to get back. Now, say if you were to bring a machine with you that does the time travel stuff, then you'd be able to go back and forth, but like I've said before, it's the same instance as before. Unless you just have a wormhole that's constantly open and staying in contact with that universe, you will never be able to go back to your original timeline. And that's why time travel can be very scary. Because you might never see your original family and friends ever again. Even if you go back in time and you have the illusion that everything is the same, or not, go back in the future and you have the illusion that everything is the same, and you know that you went back to your timeline, there's always going to be that thought in your head, like, is this the original? Am I actually back in my original timeline, or is this a new timeline? And the original timeline, I'm just gone, and my original family is like, oh God, he's gone. Or son/daughter/ what the in-between would be for daughter and son in that apartment is gone. Oh no. I knew we shouldn't have messed with time. What if that's I want to say, what if that's what happened? Obviously, that isn't what happened. Imagine Einstein just somehow managed to mess with time. He will mess with time. He goes back in time, and that's where he is right now, just in the past. Although, you can't escape aging and, time and whatnot. It's a shame, really. And also a shame with this particular theory of mine is that no matter what, there's no way we will be able to have any of our creations come into our universe unless we just so happen to be lucky enough to be the timeline where our creation comes into our universe. That's the thing. I don't think we're ever lucky enough for that. We would have to go to our creations, connect our universes with them. I mean, I'm sure there's a way to connect universes to where you don't have to, constantly keep a wormhole there. Maybe there is. Maybe there's a way to have a connection in that instance. But like I said before, it's all theory. We don't really freaking know. I don't know. I'm just making up shite as I go along. It makes the most sense, though, when you think about it. But, yeah, there's still some things that we don't really know. Which is a lot of stuff, really. What the? Oh, do this. But yeah, that's what we've got to look forward to. There's a future where we can one day figure out time travel. and figure out the nuances and potential instances of that. Because why do I get the funny feeling that that's going to be the only way for us to ever be able to, survive as a species? Is just go back in time with everybody and then just restart. Like, I don't think any rich person in the universe would be able to just go back in time and pick up where things last left off. Even if they have all of that money, all of the people in our timeline would just be questioning their and their style. And they'll probably get killed. Most likely. It depends on where the hell they take place in that timeline. Then you also gotta worry about your own, self being born. But who knows? Maybe that's not going to be an issue. When you've got, even so, it depends on how far back you go back in time. Go back in time in the 100s, or the zeros, the single digits, and you've got yourself a wide gap between your birth and the time that you went back in time. Now, unless we figure out a way to remove aging. We don't age anymore. If we can figure that out, then we would have to come across that issue. But at the rate we're going, it doesn't seem like we're going to get to any particular instance where that's going to occur. My only reasoning for wanting to have some form of immortality is so that I can continue to create. Because if my theory is correct, then our souls are capable of being reborn into a new human body. Well, I want to just continue to create. What if we're talk about reincarnation. What are the chances that I am the reincarnation of some famous artist? And that's why I have an affinity towards creation and whatnot. We don't know anything about, the nuances of, the afterlife and whatnot. Many people think once we're dead, but what's keeping us alive? Can't just be brains, right? Can't just be our complex system. Maybe there's more to it than that. Nobody really knows. Scientists states that our body is dead and dies in the ground. That's it. But we don't really know if there's actually an afterlife or not. That's the thing. People are just going off of faith right now. Theories and whatnot. I have my own theories. I like the idea of being able to have my soul be able to travel to different universes. Maybe get to a point where my soul is capable of creating a new physical body, immortal and whatnot. Similar to the realm of the cats. If you know those things, those little fellers. Those cats. That just, oh wait, hold on a second. I forgot to... No. Island 4B, you fool. I gotta remember to do that for some of these. But, yeah. That's something to think about. Reincarnation, or becoming a physical soul. Having your soul be able to create a new physical body. I guess that's technically the equivalent of becoming a god. Or a ghost. No, ghosts don't have physical bodies. Ghosts might have an appearance and whatnot, but they're not able to have some form of physical body. Or at least, not that we know of. There is such a thing as ghosts and whatnot. Souls, lost souls, wandering the earth. And we don't really know, truly, what's the reason behind that. Do we die and just, wander the world? Is that it? Or do we have the ability to go into a new body, i.e. a baby? That would make the most sense. As soon as a baby is born, you go on ahead, have your soul take place in that baby, and then, boom, you're reborn. And you continue the new lifespan, doing God knows what. So, yeah, that's something to think about. I'm sure others have thought about it before. Apparently, when I was young, I had some, what do you call it, ethereal contact with my grandfather from my mother's side, to where apparently I called my mommy a duck. That's exactly what I said. Mommy, you're a duck. And apparently my grandfather called my mother a duck sometimes because she has like duck legs, I think it was, if I remember correctly. So, the fact that I knew that, despite the fact that I think my grandfather had passed before I had any recollection of his existence at that time, it really does feel as though that there is, connection with the ghosts. Question is, why the hell did I lose that connection as I grew older? How the hell did I lose connection as I grew older? Is my freaking, is all the creations that I've made and all that... Oh, that looks a hell of a lot better. And I'll keep it as that. Why not? Is all the creating and stuff that I have been doing opened my mind's eye to a point where, I pretty much know mostly everything that I think I know? The whole, I don't know how better to explain this. I can't really follow a religion anymore because of the fact that I technically, in an egotistical sense, see myself as a god creating all these universes and timeline changes and whatnot. Of course, I don't think I've thought about it beforehand, although I guess young me was creating, instances where, young me was hanging out with fan art related characters. I don't know why, but I had a strange, what do you call it? A strange, self-insert. I think that's what I'm looking for. With, in the Inuyasha universe. For some reason. Don't know why. I remember him being, the primary, secondary, character throughout most of my, I guess, hero version-esque instance and whatnot. I remember some weird thoughts I've had back in the past. One especially with Cruella, I think her name was. That one was weird. Not gonna say it, though. Leave that to your imagination. But, yeah. Young me definitely had some strange instances of thoughts and whatnot. Definitely, Actually, yeah, young me definitely has me questioning some particular thoughts that I've had once before in the past. I'm not going to elaborate on it further. Not yet, anyways. Maybe in the future. We'll see. But, yeah, definitely was very creative back then, creating alternate timelines and whatnot. I didn't even realize what I was doing. Now that I'm older, I realize the actions that I take. All the things that I have been doing. Yes, I realize it now. Nothing's changed. I'm still doing it. But I'm creating even more of my own original characters. Learning to separate originals with, Young me was like, I'm going to make a lot of money off of me and these fan art related characters. And then at some point I realized, oh, I can't do that because of copyright stuff. Oh, that sucks. Which makes sense. Copyright makes sense because you can't just make money off of other people's creations. Although, most fan arts, I guess, can beg to differ. But if you're all fan art-centric, I guess there's an issue there. I'm not sure. I have got some fan art stuff on Patreon, and I've seen people do that. I guess it's just a case of most, intellectual property out there are well, this is not really anything to worry about. It's little minor stuff. We don't care about it. Especially for somebody who's not even making a crap ton of money off of it to begin with. But there are those who are making a crap ton of money off of other people's characters. I think, what was their name again? Zombie-chan has, with the busts and stuff. And I don't exactly remember what exactly it was, but yeah, they have done that. I think they've been doing that for a long time now, so they seem to have it down. But as I've said before, you're not really able to make, like, say you can't make a Mario game and sell it, a fan-made Mario game and sell it. And the same kind of applies to like every other game out there, really. Fan art-wise, that seems to have more leeway than games, especially if like the property is like game-related stuff. And show-wise, I guess it depends. Like, you're making money off of mature show-related characters in a mature show, if you make the characters in a mature drawing, I don't know if they would still go after ye for doing that. Like, I've seen people make some stuff that's questionable of fan-related character on Patreon, and they're still doing it. It could just be a case that they haven't got caught yet, but I don't really know. That's why I try to have a mixture of my own characters alongside tiny bits of fan art now. I only got like, what, 3 in total, I think? Or is it 2? Oh, is it 2? Hold on, I got images on my phone I can look at. I save it on here just in case. No, I only got 2. Okay, yeah, 2. Makes sense. Makes a sense. And 2 from shows that are far gone, that haven't gotten any attention in ages. Yes, sorry. Indeed. Indubitably. But, yeah. As I was saying before this conversational topic came up, we definitely have gotten to a point creation-wise to where we just can't really follow a religion anymore. We never did to begin with, so nothing's changed, you know? Nothing's changed. Of course, we're not going to knock people for following religions just because they're following it. If they want to have some form of faith, if they want to believe that there's something out there for them, then let them believe it. We don't know. There could actually be God and Satan and whatnot. I've said this multiple times before. Nobody knows. All we can do is make up theories. Some people just have faith in that what they believe in will bring them to the promised land. Nobody knows. You think I would like to just like go into darkness mode? That would be boring as all hell, even if I don't have a consciousness. I would prefer to think that, you know, I have the ability to create a new physical body with my soul. And maybe even travel to my own universes that I've created and hang out with my creations, or even have fun with my creations. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, as I nudge you in the eye. Yes, that's what I would like to think. Is it possible? Who knows? A lot of mysterious stuff in life. A lot of things that science and logic can't really explain. Sure, we might think that there might be science and logic, but we don't know. There could actually be magic. There could actually be another universe. Like I've said before. Oh, crap holder. Like I said before, the knowledge of any of that stuff right now, we have none of it. We're just going off of what ifs and what could be. And is it possible and whatnot. I mean, yeah, like, how do all those, like, legends and whatnot come across from, like, the beginning? Did people just, like, come up with them? Or did they have personal experiences with those? And those things that just died out as, you know, time moved on. Now, people have a creative mind, but how did, like, an entire race of people get down and be all like, ah, yes, dragons. We all know dragons. Were there actual dragons in the past? Was it like a dinosaur-dragon instance? If that were the case, then we would have probably found some bones of it. Or maybe one of the bones of the freaking dinosaurs we saw from way back when are actually dragons. But we're talking about medieval era stuff. So, who knows? As I've said before, the world is full of mystery. That's just a cat. The world is full of mystery. And we clearly have some, like, stories and whatnot that are inspired off of something. What is that something that? Is people just, like, pulling designs out of their asses and like, ah, yes, a dragon. And everybody's like, ooh, I like that design. Could be. That's what I do most of the time, pull designs out of my asses. Ass, I should say. I might have two asses here. Cue the second ass making that whir noise. But I'm only pulling it out of my ass. I'm sure any ideas you have are not good. And you just scoffed at me. What, you trying to say that you have good ideas, cat? Is that it? Oh, apparently we got a wise cat over here. Well, yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say here about the subject. Now the cat's gone in whir mode. I guess we could probably try to use this over here to get her to go out of whir mode for a second. Let's see. Yeah, as soon as you go into attack mode, maybe that will help you stop going into heat. Morph. You want meow? Meow, bitch. Cry, bitch, baby. I'm just gonna look at me. Alright, well, let's see if that actually does anything to calm her freaking hormones. Now we actually have a toy that we can utilize. See if that will help stop her from being in heat as often. No idea. Now she's just scoffing. Alright, let's see. Is that everything shaded, or did I miss a major portion? I guess there's some things here that could probably get like an upgrade and whatnot. Let me look at, I should have the thing open, right? Yeah. Can I get a good look at this? I don't know. What was that? Oh god, I know I can go in twice. I think I know what that is, but I don't know if that's what we're going to be going for here. Where is that drawing, actually? Aviant King. Aviant King, where are you? Look at the top left. Couldn't have been that far, right? There's a flood shark, probably in 41. Ah, here it is. 41. Why don't I show you the ruler of this region? Ah, yes, there he is. The Aviant King. Look at this. Look at this indeed. Look at this behemoth right here. Because we didn't draw him before. We had like all of the creative liberties of being able to draw something that's not a speck in the drawing. We got a Dark Souls Knight over here guy. Duke Nukem with his golden gun. Kim Puffle trying to hide. And there's a little hint as to who that is. I'm not going to say who. Some random girl. Ah, yes, the Aviant King. This behemoth coming in and living in this area. In this area full of islands and whatnot. Yes. Very, how you say, terrifying, is it not? To go up against such a beast like the Aviant King. Well, this thing is definitely, you know, a badass. Not something you want to deal with. Unfortunately, we're not going to draw him in this one. I'm leaving the rulers out of it for now. Or why am I saying for now? We're leaving the rulers out of it. Not for now, just out of it. We're drawing all the demons here, because this is focusing on all of the demons. Alright, so let's see. This one's going to be interesting texture-wise. I don't know if I want to use that for that. This makes sense for the mountains here. So I guess what I could do is get the mountains done with. The rocks, I'm not sure yet. Can you smell what them there rocks are cooking? Corpses. Corpses they do be cooking. Not a good place to be. Whoops. Definitely not a good place to be at all. It is spacious though. Mainly because of how open it is. I think I meant to get like a tunnel in. It's fine. These look as good as they can look. There's not really much that I can do with these to make them look even better. Alright, I'm going to do this for the crystal here so it has a little bit more of a... This crystal only. A little bit more of a more cracked-like texture. That's a rock, but I think that's more of a mountain at that point. Is that all the mountains? Alright, now what about the rocks? Oh, wait a minute. I forgot this side over here. I think that's Island 10L, right? Yep. Oh, also I forgot about the mountainside here. Should do that too. Ugh, man. I have a funny feeling I'm going to forget many things here, aren't I? Alright, give me the cracked texture. I think I passed it. Here it is. I'm going to go on ahead, get some cracked up in here. Cracks in this. Cracks on top side here. Shit, I forgot about that. It's fine. We can mix between the two. Waterfall, not Waterfall, Island 14G. And now we get the rocks here done with. I don't think the texture's going to take that long, actually. We might be able to get this done with in around like 30 minutes or something. Not 30 minutes. Probably less than 30 minutes, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. There's still much that must be done here. I guess there's also the nests here. But there's not really much that I can do with the nests to make them look a little bit more, you know, what do you call it? I mean, from a distance we could probably still put like, actually I'm not sure what we could put. I'll see what I can do texture-wise to those nests. I'm sure I can do more. Crystals should have a more, what do you call it, look. Let's get the islands on the side done with, the rock on the side done with. Oh man, I'm getting dizzy. I'm hungry. Kind of only really going off of 2 meals. Like, I wake up at like a certain time and I'm like, I don't really got like a meal. Like, I don't know why, but for some reason I eat breakfast before I go to sleep. And it's like at like, what, 6:30, 7:30? We wake up at 3:30. This is our vacation right here. And we wait for dinner. I should try to wake up a little bit earlier so I can get my hands on some lunch. Which I'll try to do. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep tonight because of the thing that I did. Most people would sleep like a rock, but me, no, my body's like more. Too much of a hint. Dial it back a bit. But yeah, sleep, very difficult to do for me. I can't just lay down and sleep immediately like most people can. Take some time for me. Alright, I think that's all of the rocks. I might be missing some. Alright, I'm going to get all the trees first with this, then I'm going to get the other stuff. This is probably the same tree. Yep. 5A. And then a 5B. I can get some waterfall in here. And a little bit of waterfall here. But just a little bit. Cut it off there. Then we got a Then we got a tree over here, which is technically behind that. Should have had that in front of it. Shouldn't have had that in front of it. I don't know what I was saying. Whatever. Let's see here. Tree 11A. Another tree over here. We're gonna have a bliss standing on top of it. Those raven fellows thingies. Those things that just, like, go to the void and consume the void gases. Their bodies are somehow capable of consuming void gases. Don't ask me how. That's just how they get their nutrition. Is it healthy? Well, that's how they have to eat, so yes, gotta be. Although, is anything really healthy in a place like this? Not really, no. This place is really unhealthy for our survival and whatnot. Best to avoid it at all cost. Anyways, there's a few more waterfalls here. Yeah, it's good to want to get some water-esque kind of things going here. Ah, wait, shit, hold on. I forgot about this part of the waterfall here. That goes here like so, and now I need you. I need you. Yes, you. To make that. There's going to be no sparkles in here. I don't know why I'm saying properly. And the only freaking light there is in this is the freaking bulb flumes, and they're not enough to create a sparkle. Alright, then I want to do this for this. And now what else? There's not that many texture left, actually. Let's see if I can improve upon this first before I get to the main meat of everything here. No, bring that to 5. Yeah, that provides that nice raw texture. We're going to have a few shricks here. The demons that reside within that spot. These nests. Probably get like the same outline for this and bring it over here, combine it all, and just have like one full texture of those things. How many wasp type demons do we have? Both wasps and spider types. God, I don't know what kind of texture I went for this. I think I did cracked, but that doesn't make sense. What did I do for this again? Was it just this? I mean, yeah, that makes sense when you get raw down to it. This texture does make more sense when it comes to dirt. Alright, let's see. Island 5A. 1D, which takes up the entirety of this side. I don't know if I'm going to plan on adding more to this, to the landscape here. I might, if I feel like it. If I feel that I can add it without it being, like, overbearing. We already have so much here. It already feels like there's way too much. But, considering the fact there's like a series of floating islands all over the place, perspective-wise, it would kind of be a little bit tricky to try to figure out where the hell everything is. Yeah, it's really like the best we can do when it comes to an area with like no perspective right now, of course. I need to put in the fog and whatnot to make it look like things are far out. Fog really is good for perspective. You want perspective? Make fog. Fogs are what you need to be able to make a good perspective when it comes to like faraway stuff. Like this, not this, this area over here is probably going to be like very faded in fog. What kind of fog? I don't know just yet. I mean, let me see here. The Aviant King, it seems like mostly blues and whatnot. So maybe blues? Blue and teal? Or whatnot? We'll see what happens. Also, I think I already got that one. I think this is the one I want. I guess I can bring these down a bit. Not like it matters. Did a little bit more here. And a little bit more here. There. Now I gotta just look very closely and make sure I'm not missing anything important. The grass, we don't need the texture. The grass brush is a texture in of itself. Shush. Don't you start going on meowing fits. Shush. Don't give me that look. Point. Poke your nose. I guess we gotta shade these in a little bit more. And see what we can do about getting this to blend better. I'm sure we can blend it better. Shh. And then now she's gonna start rubbing up on everything. It's cute until it gets annoying and repetitive, and it's the same thing over and over again. Now she's trying to play with the blanket for some reason. Her little blanket, not really a blanket, the seat tarp. The tarp that somewhat tries to prevent her from scratching it. Little good does that do, apparently. As that or struggle to try to get this inside the goddamn other room, which is not cool, and it would just cause this thing to break every time I try to do it. What do you want? Can't you say I'm busy? Stop nudging my nose. It's cute now. Gonna get annoying later. I guess this is the part where we could texture this a little bit. At least this one, since it's shown a bit more than the others. Closer up, shown a bit more than the others. Try to get this to be even. Okay, good, great, fantastic. Try to get that right where it needs to be. Alright, let's see. Anything more? I guess a tiny bit here, maybe? Question mark? Island 2B. Yes, of course. And then 3B. Right. The perfect number. Good. Great. Fantastic. Have I missed anything important now? Well, I guess this could probably get a little bit more shaded in. Doesn't look as shaded as it could be, so yeah, sure, why not? Actually, I don't even think I shaded in any of this. How the hell did I manage that, if I did? I don't know, I don't feel like looking back in the video to see if I did or not, but, you know, it's fine. There's the cat. And I think that might be all. Seems like it, at least. Yeah, alright, okay, good. If I decide to add more, then I'll add more. But here's the first instance. I could probably add a lot more like brush-based stuff. Maybe. We'll see. But this is the Sky Shoal. If there's more, well, it's already in the thumbnail, and you'll see it in the, hold on a second. You'll see it in the, what you call it, instance. So, yes. There we go, folks. Anyways, thank you all for watching today's episode of Art Time. If you not today's episode, today's parts in this episode of Art Time. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe for more, check out that there playlist, and of course, previous episode of Art Time right here, and the next part of this episode right over here. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Later.